So this is a short introduction about how to plant your bare root hedge plants. So here's a hedge that I've just been banging in. It's a short section, as you can see. This is a triple width hedge, which is slightly unusual. Normally people recommend just a double width. A triple width hedge like this, which is going to be a monster, can go up to 10 plants a metre, but that really is a very thick hedge indeed. And plant them at the 5 to 7 plants a metre. Some of the grant aided schemes ask for 7 plants, but 5 plants a metre is absolutely fine. Plant in groups of the same species, so 3 to 5 plants of the same species together, and you can add holly or honeysuckle and dog rose as individual plants down the hedge line. In terms of positioning of the hedge, you need to be ideally around a metre from any fence that you've got next door to it to allow it to really bush out. Can be tighter, but obviously that's going to limit the growth of the hedge. What you don't particularly want is the hedge actually growing through a field fence, for example, which is going to make it difficult to manage. I haven't yet put guards on this chap yet, but we generally recommend it. We offer biodegradable guards, which are a sensible idea. The important thing with them though is if they're not degrading quickly enough to take them off, because they will restrict the growth of the plants once they're starting to get established. They're not just helpful in terms of protecting them against voles and rabbits, but also stopping windrock in the early stages of development, and actually they do provide a bit more of a kind of warmer area for the plants to grow. You'll also see that we've covered this with wood chip as a mulch. It's really important, again, over the first couple of years of the hedge's life, to make sure that the base of the plants is kept clear of grass and weeds, because they'll compete with the plants for nutrients and for rain. In today's days of climate change, a lot of people ask us about a watering regime. Generally speaking, we'd say that these are very tough plants, right? And consequently, they don't need watering. They will only need watering under really dire circumstances if you start noticing them in distress. And if you do have to water them, you have to water them really well, really thoroughly. If you just give them a little bit of water, it's worse than nothing, because it will just encourage the roots to get to the surface and not to actually go down and look for water down below. We've had a lot of experience of growing these plants, and generally speaking, they just don't need watering. So these bare root plants are all slip planted, and that couldn't be easier. All you do is you stick a spade in the ground, make the slip, wiggle it around, and then stick the plant in. You'll find the root systems vary a good deal from species to species, and there'll be some variation also in the size of the plants. So you need to make allowance for that, but make sure that the roots are really nicely well pushed in. You might have to do that manually if you've got a very bushy root system. So once you've actually got the roots in the ground, we recommend using some root grow, some mycorrhizal fungi, which you can just sprinkle on. So we don't usually major on selling stuff. It's all about plants as far as we're concerned, but this stuff does seem to really work. It's called root grow. These are mycorrhizal fungi, and they really do help to accelerate good establishment of young plants. Then close the slit up. You can just use your heel to do that, and then get the mulch on top with a couple of inches of bark. We'd suggest something like that.